Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Heisenflay, coming to you live with a video instead of going to school. I know, very productive. Now, what is today's video about? Well, I'm talking today about the Azur lane. You know, like I do a lot. Yeah, I do that like a lot. um, but but yeah. So instead of like what I'd usually do, which is what I originally thought of doing, which was talking about my favorite Kansen from Azur Lane. Today, I'm actually going to talk about a select few, which are still some of my favorites, but talk about the difference between the official versions and the um, and the version that's going to appear in Side-0. I can do this because because this won't exactly have much effect. Well, this doesn't have much effect on the on most of Side-0. Like the way they act, and the difference between this and official Azur Lane canon is not going to have much relevance to the plot of Side-0, nor is the actual nor is my little version that of the humanity versus siren uh, conflict that happens in Side-0. Um, well, not humanity. Well, you see, all right. So I guess I can. I'm guessing I'm going to explain how Azur Lane happens within Side-0. Basically, by time Side-0 starts, humanity on the Azur Lane planet, because there are going to be multiple planets that are just like Earth. There's a little bit of lore for this month. Um, yeah, there are multiple different Earths. Azur Lane's Earth, I believe I called it uh, Earth K3 4800 Alpha. Um, but uh, I guess uh, yeah, I guess that's what it's officially called now. That's the version of Earth that Azur Lane takes place on inside Zero, and um in and by the time Side-0 is starting, I mean like chronologically, not like the actual show starting, but like by the time the timeline of Side-0 kicks off on that Earth, where the Kansen come from, humanity has already been wiped out by the Sirens, and what the Kansen are basically out of revenge, destroying and mopping up the last of the Sirens. So, um, you know, after this, the Kansen realize that Earth, they are the only beings left on their version of Earth now. They don't know that there are other Earths out there, but as far as they know, there are no more humans left in existence. They are alone. So, what do? Well, they occupy Earth in a similar way to the humans would. They can't really reproduce because there are only females, but they continue to try and, make new Kansen, which, they do via these semi-organic assembly lines. I guess you could call them. Basically, it's kind of like a factory, except it can create organic things, well, semi-organic things, and that's how they keep making Kansen for a while. But the production of each Kansen is so incredibly slow that that after a while they just kind of stop, because Kansen don't die, so they don't really have to. I mean, they can be killed, but they won't die of natural causes, so they won't really have to worry. So then another conflict breaks out, but this time between everyone else and the Sakura Empire. It is Akagi being, power hungry and kind of stupid. So, she mounts a full scale offensive on literally everyone else. And this ends with Kaga and Akagi, being kicked off of Azurlane Earth and finding their way to Side-0's, the Earth that Side-0 takes place in, which is Earth C-137 Beta, I believe I called it. Yeah, Earth C-137 Beta. So, don't ask where C-137 Alpha went. You don't want to know. Yeah, so Earth C-137 Beta. And, of course, since this is the Earth where Side-0 takes place, I can't tell you what they did when they got to Earth. But just know, Kaga and Akagi affect the plot of Side-0 greatly. So, yeah, then, without a leader, the Sakura Empire falls into disrepair for a while. Of course, after, after realizing that, the Sakura Empire needs a leader, Atago steps up to the plate, and Atago was raised mostly by Kaga, Amagi, and Shinano, so she doesn't have any of the power-hungry and selfish views of Akagi. So this is she leads the Sakura Empire very effectively, and the Kansen, pretty much they only live in peace. Nothing really noteworthy to talk about for the next couple hundred years of Kansen history. So then, after I'd say some like 300 years or so, the Royal Navy gains a new leader because King George V stepped down, and what's her name? I forget her name. I think I have her here on my iPad. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies. What is her name? Oh yes, Hood. And Hood couldn't be the leader because she got incredibly sick. She survived, but still got incredibly sick. So Illustrious steps up to the plate and becomes the leader of the Royal Navy. And once again, she did a better job than the previous leader, King George V, who wasn't selfish or power hungry, but was just incredibly uptight and mean. Yeah. So then, Bremerton, formerly known as Black Prince. I believe, Bremerton, formerly known as Black Prince. Yes, the Royal Navy. What was she? Aircraft carrier, right? No, light cruiser. The Royal Navy light cruiser. No, wait, that's Penelope. Where is Black Prince? All right, yeah, the Royal Navy heavy cruiser Black Prince, who deserted. She then became Bremerton, and Bremerton, being kind of upset that the group that she was once a part of, that she should have been leading, because she was kind of next in line. If Hood was, if Hood was to get sick, but she deserted, and right. I'm kind of confusing myself with the storyline here. I should probably, go into detail. So basically, during the Siren conflict, Black Prince was wounded and deserted the battlefield to, find somewhere where she could tend to her wounds. Um, but when she returned to the Royal Navy base, uh, she, 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 she was detained, and of course, and of course, dishonorably discharged for deserting. But what does being discharged mean for a Kansan? After all, at this time they were really considered more than just military hardware. Well, that means only one thing and one thing alone: execution. And uh, Illustrious and Black Prince were sisters. So Illustrious didn't like this all too much and tried to vouch for her little sister, but it was all for naught, as Black Prince was executed via firing squad. Psych. She actually crawled away after being shot numerous times. Center mass, so it's okay. Because, as you shoot someone center mass, they'll survive. I'm joking. Please don't actually shoot anyone. Please. Um, yeah, so Black Prince crawls away, does a little bodily modification, and boom, Bremerton is born. And although, in the process she lost quite a bit of her memories, and only remembers really being in the Royal Navy, deserting because she was hurt, and then Illustrious watching as someone shot her. So she's pretty upset at Illustrious, and out of spite, she joins the Eagle Union and works her way up to becoming the leader, because unlike every other group, the Eagle Union's sort of a democracy. Because America. You gotta be elected, and, if you do a good job, your stay is pretty much guaranteed. And since, there were no humans to really dictate how good Bremerton was doing, she kind of stayed as the leader because the other Canton liked her, because she threw cool parties and kind of brought in money. But the Eagle Union is kind of ran out of money very quickly, because believe it or not, partying does not pay bills, and without humans, the mint and other ways of money generation were kind of down. So the Cants needed to find a way to fix that. So what did they do? They kind of just got rid of the idea of currency and money altogether. They were kind of like, okay, we can't really generate money. The mint is gone. Any other way of money generation is gone. I don't know if any other country has a mint. So, or anything like it. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to refer to all money generation methods, I guess you could call it, as minting. So with other ways of minting being down, they just kind of threw out the idea of money and currency, and to an extent an economy. So they just kind of pick up what they need, and surprisingly, there's no theft, and crime is actually, at least crime related to stealing, is very low, because without money you can still claim ownership of something if it's in your possession. So and plus most Kansan weren't rude enough to steal from one another, so things were all right. But now to talk about the personalities, because I already told you guys about the obvious things that are going to be different, because obviously when it comes to the Azur Lane as a faction, the humans are in control of that because they're still alive. They're not going to let the Kansan just control the factions, because human. So let's go over to Illustrious and talk about her personality. What is Illustrious like? Well, very similarly to her official Azur Lane counterpart, Illustrious is very kind and very nurturing. She's naive and docile and very soft. As a leader, she's very forgiving and laid back, and she's not all too obsessed with ladylikeness. And she fancies a crude joke every now and then, but for the most part, she maintains a spotless and traditionally feminine sort of way of acting. Like, like every now and then she'll like swear, but she isn't swearing every other word, unlike Bremerton. So Bremerton is very bubbly and energetic. She's very chill. Well, I guess she's not really chill, but she's very cool. She's American, so she's you know she doesn't really sit still. So she retains some of the girly and vain aspects of her official counterpart, but she is willing to get messy and a little gross. Yeah. So, just in case I'm wrong and someone points that out, you know, I well, I see Bremerton's official counterpart as very girly and vain, due to the dialogue I have read on the Azur Lane wiki on Comacon.jp. So, I've gained most of my information on their personalities from there, especially Bremerton, since she's not in the show. Actually, she might be in the other. I'm pretty sure there was like an OVA. She might be in that, but I don't play any other Azur Lane games besides Crosswave because I don't really do mobile games. I mean, I have BlueStacks, so I could play it on PC, but I just don't do mobile games. So I'll give it a try, and I might even make a video on it, but I just don't really do mobile games. So I guess next video of May will be me playing Azur Lane. Maybe. Who knows? So yeah. Yeah. Bremerton, she also during the time when humans were still alive, she has had 8 commanders. And by that, I mean she ran through 8 commanders in a very short amount of time because she was very unbearable. The first 4 commanders committed suicide because she was just that bad. I know that's a very heavy subject. I might change it, but I want to emphasize that she was really bad back in the day before her the Azur Lane converges with Side-0 and all the people from there. As well as that, I also just kind of want to have that heaviness of Bremerton secretly beats herself up a lot, and the other Canson also hold against her the fact that she has lost 8 commanders. Well, the other 4 as for the other 4, 3 of them left, and the 8th one beat the crap out of Bremerton out of retaliation, and subsequently was arrested. So it's safe to say that Bremerton did not have a good track record of keeping commanders. Her ninth. Of course, this is going to change with her ninth commander, because she's she changes from the course of when she first became the leader of the Eagle Union, or when she first became a member of the from when she first became a member of the Eagle Union, not a leader, a member of the Eagle Union, and from when she when she became a leader. So lots gonna change between that point and her ascension to leaderhood. Then on to Atago. Oh, wait, nope, that's... Yep, Atago. Atago is very welcoming and motherly. She is smart and calm and always willing to give hugs, similarly to her official counterpart. She is soft and good at reading emotions. I guess I should clarify what I mean by soft. By that, I mean like soft-spoken and just very like hold your hand through your problems kind of person. Like she's not like gonna baby you, but at the same time she'll almost like hold you in your arms kind of. When she speaks to you, you feel like you're being cradled, you know? Like you don't feel like your intelligence is being mocked, or like you're being degraded, or like, she thinks that you can't take care of yourself, but she loves you and really cares for you. That's what I mean by soft, So, yeah, she's soft and good at reading emotions. She can always tell when someone she loves is feeling down or is having a hard time. So she's like very skilled at interaction, is what I'm trying to say. She's very good at dealing with people, specifically very good at dealing with guys, because despite it being over like 400 years before since she's ever seen a guy, she's like very good at talking to and keeping guys calm. Like that'll sound weird to some people, but like in my time of like talking to people, I've noticed that guys get upset, get exasperated, and lose their temper in a way that is different to women. Like not like we lose our temper in a cool way, or we just don't lose it at all, but like we have a very different way of getting upset. Like not like we're more violent or we're less violent or something, but it's like different. It's like the mannerisms and the way in which we lash out is like fairly different. Like at least on average. Like, yeah, there are guys who can get exasperated and upset in the same way a girl can, but for the most part, we do have like this like women and men have their own way of like getting upset. Don't exactly know how to put it into words, but it like when dealing with the opposite sex, it's just kind of important that you like take the behavior of either one into consideration, and like at least the average behavior of either one. So, yeah, that's what she does. She's very good at dealing at talking to and dealing with men and whatnot, because that's not something most girls really do. I mean, yeah, most guys aren't really good at talking to and dealing with an upset woman. So it's impressive when you can, and very important that you learn to do so. Just in general, like not even just as like a lover, or like just like like a friend thing, just in general, because you're gonna deal with a lot of people who are upset for whatever reason, and it's important that you just learn to de-escalate that situation. So, she's very good at doing that, de-escalating the situation, getting to the root of the problem, and fixing things. She's a problem solver, and she's very good at that, because that's an important thing in a person just in general. Not even just in like a leader or a mother or just or a military person. Just in general, it's a good thing to have. The ability to solve an issue and talk to people, to be humane. Something that a lot of people do lack. So yeah, she's so yeah, she's just good talker, smooth talker, just good talker in general. She good talk. Um, yeah. So now on to things that aren't exactly that I haven't written down on this little Google Doc right here that I have on my screen. Now I'm going to once again go back to Illustrious. Illustrious. What what do I have about her that's not written on the Azur Lane fandom wiki, not Comicon fandom, on the Azur Lane fandom wiki? It is said that Illustrious is tall. In Side-0, she is going to be a lot shorter. I'm kind of going for 4'11". I kind of want to do 4'11" because I feel like that would kind of fit her more kind of like grandma-esque personality in Side-0. She's like very naive and docile and nurturing. Sits back in a chair and just kind of enjoys life. So she's very small. As as well as that, I also kind of wanted to give Illustrious a few extra gun turrets because I feel like being an aircraft carrier inside Zero, the combat won't exactly be something where an aircraft carrier can just be an aircraft carrier. I feel like having a couple extra guns would help her fit in more with the others. By the others I mean every other character inside Zero, because there's a lot of like martial arts and firing of weapons and use of the environment as weapons. There's just like a lot of like, oh, this guy fires a bullet but uses his bullet casing as a deflection, so the bullet deflects into the ground and then deflects into a light and then deflects back into the other guy's chest, but then it deflects back at the shooter, kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of just an example of the kind of what I'm kind of going for Side-0. So that kind of stuff, her just kind of spawning planes off a runway on her back won't exactly be all that fitting. So I kind of want Canton to have some kind of, not only have some kind of handheld weapon, but I also want for them to do some hand-to-hand fighting. I know that that's not something that they usually do in the Azur Lane canon, at least not from what I can see, or from what I've been shown. So I hope that's not like too jarring for any Azur Lane fans who might stumble across Side-0 when it's actually animated. But just know it's only a change that I can make so that it fits, and it'll still fit with their personality, and just aircraft carriers will still make their planes and whatnot. I'm not gonna omit the aircraft carrier part from them, because then they'd just be people and not ships, and that would just make them Nikke and not Kansen. speaking of which, I am planning on adding Nikkei to Side-0. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to add them. And of course, once Side-0 is a thing, I am going to have to speak with Manju about Azur, about adding Azurlan and whatnot. If not, I'm just gonna have to add some Hansen look-alike ripoff or whatever. But actually, huh. I'm cooking up something in my head. But just know I'm not just going to steal the design if Manju says I can't use them. So, but I am, this I've already kind of incorporated these kinds of character, all of these kinds of characters into some important storylines. So I can't just omit Azur Lane or some kind of Azur Lane style characters. So, it is important that I keep them in. So, what else? Yeah. Well, for handheld weapon, I was kind of thinking like a sword, or, actually, yeah, a sword would actually no. Yeah, an umbrella with a blade on the end. Yeah, that I feel like that would work for her. Maybe a cane. No, not a cane. Maybe because she's like dapper, fancy and 50s kind of look. Well, not 50s, but like back in the day when actors used the transatlantic accent frequently. Tommy gun. No, not a Tommy gun. Would she use a Tommy gun? I don't know. I'm stuck between umbrella and Tommy gun. You guys can decide in the comments, because I feel like, Illustrious might actually use a mixture of both. You know what? That actually might work. A mixture of both. Umbrella, Tommy gun. I like it. Atago. She already has a handheld weapon, so I don't need to really worry about that. As for some changes that you might that I can actually talk about. Well, I mean, not that there aren't the ones that I can't talk about, but ones that aren't already obvious or taken care of for me. So she already has a handheld weapon, but she doesn't have a tail. I've noticed that. She has ears but no tail, and she seems to have cat ears and not fox ears. I thought that she had fox ears, but she's actually cat girl. She's a Neko apparently, which you'd never guess, because Nekos are usually lollies, which is why I don't really like Nekos. But but she seems to be one of the good ones. Probably one of the most racist sounding things I've ever said. She is going to be given a cattail. It's going to be a bushy cattail so that it looks a bit more like a foxtail, because I don't know, she feels, I don't know, I get a lot of Kitsune vibes from her, but she is a Neko. So I'm gonna kind of go in on that, kind of. She feels more like a Kitsune than a Neko kind of feeling by giving her a very fox-like cattail. Moves like a cat's tail, but it's pretty bushy towards the end. So next, I'm going to make her rigging symmetrical, because looking at her rigging and how it's like not symmetrical kind of bugs me. Like, I get that that's historically accurate, but at the same time, I don't like it. I might actually, because I was kind of thinking, just add a third cannon onto her other little ship, but I might take the little I might take these and, duplicate them here. It really depends. Because, because, um, it all depends on how I feel. I might just actually duplicate these though, because now that I'm thinking about it, this might actually look cool on the other side, like as a symmetrical design. I don't know yet. I might also I might also um I might also like uh make it so that her rigging attaches higher up on her back, and that there's like, and of course every Canton, I'm going to like give them like a visible little like plate on their back where the rigging attaches to kind of emphasize that, more cyborg like feel that I want to go for them, because the Canton, they're a lot more human in Azur Lane, and it's like to the point where I don't know if they're humans or not, or if they're like something else entirely. But I am going to, make it clear that they are supposed to be semi-mechanical. You know, maybe not full-blown robots, but like some kind of cyborg. But they're not. But they're not like human cyborgs. They're like androids, pretty much. Because androids are like supposed to be like naturally born cyborgs, I think. So yeah, pretty much that's what they're supposed to be. So I'm kind of gonna give them a lot more like a visible hard point on the back. So I might move her rigging up, or have it so that instead of having a singular hard point, each little ship thing right here, this one attaches into this shoulder blade, this one attaches into the other one. And I want to give her like a Jetstream Sam style scabbard, where her sword kind of attaches to a hard point on the scabbard attaches to a hard point on the back, and there's like a little arm that can like swing forward and to the back and to the side, and it makes it so that she can like pull her sword out from multiple different angles, and she can even pull her sword out with the other hand, and it can switch sides, and she can like draw it with her main hand or her offhand. So yeah, I also kind of wanted to change up her high heels a bit, kind of make them a bit less high. Like I wanted to I wanted to change them up a bit, make them look a bit softer, because I kind of get I don't get an aggressive feel from the high heels, but I get like, because they're like they're a bit like, I want to like make them feel a bit more like soft, like high heel sandals, I guess. They're not gonna be high heel sandals, but like kind of like them. They don't raise the heel as high, so that she can actually like walk and do combat, and she's not gonna break her ankles. As as for any kind of other change, I might change the color of her eyes, make it a bit more of a vibrant shade of yellow, and of course for the Canton, because I want to lead into the more cyborg aspect. Their eyes are going to have a bit of a glow or shine to them, and other than that, might increase the amount of decoration on her uniform. Give her a bit of whatever the thingies are, United Nation whatever thingies. Just something to give her a bit more of a high decorated status look to her. Bremerton. What am I going to do for you? Well, I already have something in mind. Make her jacket a lot longer, because long jackets are freaking cool. I am going to, I'm well, of course, for one, she's going to be a bit shorter than she actually is. Kind of going for like 5'3" because I'm pretty sure on the fandom wiki she's described as tall. No official height given, but just tall. So I do want to make her a bit shorter. You know. You know. Although I might make her tall, maybe. But in my head she's like, you know, 5'3" at most in my head. Um, I want I want to like make her boots a bit longer because, you know, I like long boots. Long boots are cool. You know, I want to give them a bit more of a laced up combat boot feel. Um, what else do I want to do? I want to well, as for a handheld weapon, like I'm kind of thinking baseball bat, but you know, it's not American enough. But I don't want to go with a Glock because that'd be like too stereotypical and not really all that funny. What about an AR-15? That'd be cool, right? Yeah, probably not. So I'm just gonna go with a javelin missile. Yeah, please ignore my speaking into the mic as a like please ignore this. This is like a desperate attempt to be comedic, but I know it's not working. Um, yeah, so you know, yeah, I'm gonna go with like some kind of like missile launcher or rocket launcher. Um, I'm going to make make her rigging a bit more like shield like the actual like nose cone shield ship bits on like that are like, you know, have the cannons on them. I'm gonna make them a bit more shield like. I'm gonna have the main guns kind of recess into them a bit more, and actually kind of, you know, like slot and hide inside when they're used as shields. You know, gonna give them a bit more maneuverability, um, and um, actually, I think I have a good handheld weapon for her that isn't a jab that isn't some kind of missile launcher. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Buster Sword now. Yeah, you guys can decide. What do you think would fit Bremerton more, missile launcher or Buster Sword? Um, um. So yeah. Other than that, I don't really have anything else I'd like to change about the character. Um, I guess I like to give them a couple like pouches on their belt to kind of give it a bit more of a tactical feel, but that's a maybe, I guess. Maybe just like one extra pouch. But now onto the character. But now onto the characters I haven't written down. So what is Formidable gonna be like? Since she's gonna be one of the main Canson, besides the three that I've already pointed out, what is she gonna be like? Well, Formidable's gonna be like, you know, very chill, very laid back. And one thing I'm gonna have with Canson in this, like due to the fact that, you know, the factions within the Azur Lane and the Azur Lane as a faction itself are now more treated like, you know, provinces and states rather than, you know, militaries. Rather than military groups, you know, and political groups. You know, Canson do find themselves transferring over if they don't prefer, you know, their their experience within, you know, one faction. So, Formidable is a transfer from the is actually a transfer from the Eagle Union. Um, if I can find her, yes, she if I remember correctly, was formerly Yorktown. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I came up with, because originally I was gonna go with her being Anchorage before she switched over to the Royal Navy, but I kind of thought I kind of thought Yorktown or Yorktown too, because then I was like, oh, Anchorage could be the former leader of the Eagle Union before Bremerton. But then I went with New Jersey. So I guess yeah, she could be Anchorage, because I'm pretty sure Anchorage doesn't get all that much love. So I want to feature her somehow. So I'm gonna have Formidable be formerly Anchorage. So Formidable, she's chill. She's time. She likes rap music and whatnot. You know, and she herself is actually a pretty skilled lyricist. Um, um, uh, the mic was down. Sorry, if my audio wasn't all too good. Um, yeah, so yeah, laid back, chill, likes rap music. Actually, a pretty good lyricist herself. She has a bit of a Valley Girl accent. Like she's not like ill, oh my god, but like but she kind of has like a bit of a Valley Girl accent, and she's like and she's she still has a bit of an Americanness to her. She's not like fully British yet. Yeah, 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 she's pretty interesting character. Her eyes are gonna be a lot more a lot more vibrant shade of red in Inside Zero, and she's and and what else was I planning on changing? Yeah, I was actually gonna make her rigging a bit more technological and flamboyant, in the sense that I mean like showy or ornate, you know. And there's Belfast. Wait, yeah, okay. Belfast is kind of okay. Yep. One second. Yeah. So Belfast. Yeah. Belfast is gonna change quite a bit. Like, um, I don't know if people are going to dislike me for this, but I'm going to make Belfast a bit more dislikable as a person in the beginning. Um, b- 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 but um, but 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 she is going to she's going to have like I'm kind of fighting between whether or not she should have a French accent or a British accent, because she has a French maid thing going on. But I don't know if I should lean into that by her being French and obsessed with cleanliness. I mean, regardless, she's going to be obsessed with like cleanliness and stuff. But I don't know if I should have to be British or French. Um, but she's going to be, very uptight, very, very, conservative and whatnot. She's going to be like very square and stuff. She doesn't like, the fact that, oh, these new Royal Navy guys, they're listening to rap music. They're being like those Americans. We're losing our identity. But of course, illustrious, being, chill and, cool. She's like, it's fine. We're still the Royal Navy. You know, I'm not. If things get too bad, I'll stop it. And she does step in when things get egregious. But Belfast doesn't like that. She wants them all to be up to that absurd code of like that absurd level of like British cleanliness, royalty snob ishness, and Of course, because things aren't that way, she's very upset at the other members of the Royal Navy. Um, and she's like a little insecure in actuality, because that's how people who are upset all the time usually are. So yeah. As for things I'd like to change design wise, I'd like to make her eyes a different color because they're silver, right? I'm looking right now and I don't know if her eyes are silver or just navy. Well, I I want to make her eyes like a more bluish shade, and as well as that, uh, I want to change up the design of her gloves because as much as I like her, her hand guns, I do want to change it up like a little bit and make her hands look a lot a bit like smaller because her hands are given a bit of a aggressive feel with the gloves, at least for me. Um, I want to change her rigging to where like it's not to where there's not as much of a visible backpack, but I do want to but I do want to make the cannons a bit larger. Um, I want to increase the torpedo amount by a little bit. Because if you see down here, excuse me, if as you can see down here, there are three torpedoes, and I'm pretty sure there are some on the other side as well. But um, I want to increase the torpedo amount to like 4 or 5 per side. Um, I al- well, I also would like to. I also would like to change up the design of this little thing right here. Make it a bit sharper. Kind of have it connect via like some kind of buckle or something. Maybe have it appear a bit higher on the torso. Um, because I feel like that because personally I just feel like that would look a bit more, I don't know, equipment like. I don't know. Um, I don't know the word for it, but other than that, there's nothing I'd really like to change. Um, Taiho, in 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 in, in in Side-0, Taiho is going to be a lot different from how she appears in Azur Lane, at least from what I've seen. I've played Crosswave, and she is a DLC character in Crosswave. So, once again, um, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent for 1 second. Yeah, just in general, for for advice on some video games that have DLCs, Gundam Breaker 3 and Azur Lane Crosswave specifically, grind the DLC levels and then attempt the normal levels with all of your DLC stuff and DLC earnings. Thank me later. Anyways, I know that had nothing to do with what I'm about to talk about, but uh, I just kind of wanted to give that advice before I forget to give it, because um, if you guys saw my montages, if you guys saw like a montage or just what I what I'm capable of in Gundam Breaker 3 with my extreme mode wound wart parts, you'd crown me king of the game. I'm just saying. Back to Taiho. Uh, she is going to be a lot different. In the the game Azur Crosswave, she's she's not as much of a yandere as people usually portray her as. Like, she can she's still like a bit, but she's a lot more like upset and complainy, which I'm going to lean into for Side-0. You know, she's slapped around a lot by Akagi, so I'm going to also have that happen a lot more. Um, so yeah, um, so I'm going to give her a transatlantic accent. I'm going to have her sound a lot more like Rarity, except a bit more like pathetic, but in a cute way, I guess. Like, I'm gonna have her be very complainy and very upset, but not in, like, an annoying way, because it can get annoying. Like I'll have her hit the brakes when she complains a bit too much, you know, and I'm not gonna have her be like annoyingly complaining. Like, she can still get stuff done, but she'll complain about it the entire time. Like, she puts in work, but she just doesn't like to put in work, and she'll like complain about it a lot. Um, as for changes, um, visually, I don't really have anything I'd like to change visually. Quite honestly, um, there's just nothing I can really see that I'd want to change. I guess maybe besides changing her footwear, like giving her some like enclosed high heels, maybe. Maybe changing her rigging up a bit. Might give her something that's more Atago style, but still aircraft carrier e. But you know what? The traditional fan works fine enough. Um, might actually lean into her Phoenix thing a bit more by giving her a bit more wing-like protrusions on her outfit. Next, Kashino, the innocent cinnamon roll. Um, um, uh, I forgot what I was going to say for a second. So, so Kashino. Oh yeah, I forgot. Crap, clicked off. Handheld weapon. I'm just gonna blaze through these three very quick. The video is starting to fall apart. um, Handheld weapon. For formidable, I'm kind of also thinking Tommy gun, but at the same time, but at the same time, also scythe because time, reaper, whatnot. So I'm kind of thinking clock themed scythe or some kind of clock themed gun. Belfist. I was a Belfist. I was kind of thinking some kind of I don't know. I was kind of thinking some kind of sword or some kind of gun, something that gets the job done very quickly and cleanly. Um, as for Taiho, flamey sharp fans and fire. Kashino already has a handheld weapon, and as for her personality, it's basically going to be derived from what I've seen from what I gained from the character's looks. Basically, the vibe I derive from the character. Um, from what I've seen, she seems very shy. Very easily frightenable, very skittish. So I'm gonna lean into that. She's quick to kind of burst into tears in the face of adversity. Like, she'll still fight, but she'll be very scared. Like, she's she's just very innocent, very she's very hard to hurt in the sense that you just don't want to hurt her. Like, you just don't want to. As for visual changes, visual changes. I don't think there's anything I really want to change visually. Might increase the size of her horns a bit, but other than that, I don't think there's anything I want to really change. actually, I might modify these guns because, looking a little small there. Yeah. Might modify her gun turrets a bit. And I might make her rigging attach a little bit higher. Once again, gonna give her a visible hard point on the back. Um, Might increase the length of her hair a bit. But that's pretty much it for Kashina. Washington. Um, Washington. I don't really have much I want to change, but as for personality, she's very calm and collected. Not very stoic, but like she's like very icy. You know, kind of like Kopaka from Bionicle or Shadow. But like she's not like cold, but she's like she has that sort of lone wolf energy, but she's very friendly and not she's not adverse to working with people as a team. So, so yeah, that's what I mean when I say icy, you know? She's not cold, but she's got that like, you know, just I'll work with you but don't get in my way kind of energy, you know? But she likes, having friends and companions. Um um as for design changes, don't really have much I'd want to change. I mean, her, her rigging does have a bit of a clutteriness to it, but that's just because of the posing that the rigging is in. I'll just have both of these shields on their own little arms, and have them facing forward with their own little gun turrets on them. These little turrets back here, I might have them swing down a bit lower. The gun on her back, I also might have kind of acting as a back skirt. The actual skirt right here, I'm definitely going to lower a bit because I'm not a fan of high waisted garments. They just kind of they, they're a very big red flag and nope to me. So this is definitely gonna lower a bit. You know, kind of similar to what a lot of people do in the art, because because some because I'm glad the art doesn't interpret it as high waisted as it actually is. So I'm definitely going to change the actual like waistband length. Um, Next, kind of actual visual changes that I want. The hair might increase the hair length a bit. Give her those ring earrings instead of just having this. I'm gonna keep the cross because I actually kind of plan to have her, because I actually kind of plan to have her like, represent, the positive side of Christianity because, basically, Christianity is kind of, taking a bit of a beating lately because of a bunch of weirdos and freaks who want to make it about hatred. So I want to express, how I feel about that through, this right here, Next, might give her another sleeve, but still keep that asymmetry by like, by like, give by like having this sleeve have this chain and a half glove, and having the sleeve I give to this other arm just have this fuller glove, and like something on the bicep. Um, Let's see. Might increase her muscularity. Maybe, I don't know. She just kind of gives me a vibe that she would be a lot more muscular. So I might increase her muscularity. Carolina. What will I do for Carolina? Um, well, for Carolina, um, well, well, first her personality. I'm I'm kind of thinking I give her a similar personality to Atago, but a bit less leader-like. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna give her a similar personality to Atago. With a bit less leader-like qualities. She's still very kind, very nurturing, but just is not as good a speaker. Not as good at controlling a situation and de-escalating things, which is why she hangs around other people to make sure that she can she can just do stuff safely. I'm going as for visual changes, her rigging I'm going to make more symmetrical. I'm going to increase the shield amount, I guess you could call it. I know these aren't supposed to be shields, but that's what I'm going to call them. I'm going to increase the amount of these, kind of give her a bit of a sundowner thing going. Um, you know. Also, thigh gap. I'm going to begone that because I do not like thigh gaps whatsoever. I don't like them. They're just kind of they freak me out. Like, like I don't mean this as in I hate thin thighs, because thighs are thighs no matter what you say. But I don't like thigh gaps, as in the weird, unnatural, like, just space that just so happens to exist for the sake of. Wait, hold on. For the sake of. I don't know what. Just don't like it. Begone it. Don't exactly know how. I'm probably just going to expand the thigh, I guess. I don't know. Going to symmetricalize. I'm gonna make that a word. I'm going to symmetricalize the skirt by adding another red thing over here. Maybe kind of increase the red things, red triangles. Kind of give it a bit of a pleated design by increasing the triangle amount. I'm gonna keep the cross too. Gonna give her earrings as well, but they're not gonna be like ring earrings. They're gonna be like, pretty, jewelly, jewel earrings, because earrings are jewels. This video is devolving. I am running low on energy, and I need water. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm back. Sorry for the delay, although that was probably barely even a second, because OBS's pause recording button is doing wonders right now. So, now that I have properly been refreshed, I can go on and close out Washington. Wait, this isn't Washington. This is Carolina, North Carolina. Okay. Yep. So, as for the last kind of visual change, last visual change, going to give her the same handheld weapon that I'd give Washington, and that is going to be some kind of shotgun. I don't know if it's going to be a 12 gauge. I don't know if it's going to be a fictional one, like, I don't know, the Camphor shotgun or the Halo shotgun or Doom Super shotgun, but it's going to be a shotgun of some sort, because, I skipped over Washington by accident. Oh, and that's it. That's all. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed my video. Don't worry, I am going to come to you with a bit more compact videos, because I know that some people want to have a video that they can leave on the background, or leave on in the background, and some people just want to watch something that's a little short, either to end off their day or to just entertain themselves during the afternoon. So, I don't want to keep making these super long videos that drive off a bit of my viewer base. So, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will be coming at you with another video. Um, and hopefully, the quality of my videos gets better and better, and hopefully I find a place that is better to record in than just my room. So thank you for watching. I will see you sometime later in May. I will be talking more about Armored Core 6 in my next video, because my next video might just be about Armored Core, and how it is in the Side-0 universe. But in general, I just want to talk more about Armored Core, because I really like Armored Core now. I still like Gundam. I just like Armored Core a lot. I just like Armored Core a lot now too. So yeah, thank you for watching for the 4th time. I am happy that you all still tune in. I hope you all enjoyed. All this video was fun, informative. I hope you all are excited for what I have in store when it comes to Side-0. Believe in the sign of the Zeta forever and always, and be good to each other. I am your host, Heisenflay, and I will see you all next time.